Hey everyone, welcome back to Antlab Games. We are on our third patrol in the Hunter German U-boats at war, 1939 to 1943. We are going to pick up where we left off in U-27, the Type 7A submarine, German U-boat. And we have to make a quick correction from our last patrol. If you remember in the last patrol, I noted that one of my electronic torpedoes that hit a small freighter by the name of Frederica Lenson. It was actually, I rolled a 3, and on the electric torpedoes in 1939, it is a dud. So I counted it at the time as a sunk vessel, so I've made the correction, and my total tonnage to date so far is now 16,800 tons. We are picking up in port. It is February of 1940. So we've got 2 successful patrols, one more, and we will get to see about promotions for the crew, which is nice. So we won't be able to get a promotion for Kapitan Lieutenant Stubing until September of 1940, because they've got to do 12 months of service before they get a promotion, or at least get considered for promotion. So with that, I think what we'll do is we'll see what our patrol orders are and kick this off. Okay, so February of 1940, we are still in the first column. So let's see where we will be sent. We roll a 6, and we are going back to the British Isles. All right, we will move U-27 into position and start in our first transit location. We will ignore the Bay of Biscay text. That doesn't come into play until July of 1940. Okay, so we are in transit. So we need to go 2 spaces. So let's see what happens in the first transit space. We roll an 8. 8 is no contact. Second space, we roll a 10. Again, no combat. So no contact. So we've got 2 clear transit spaces, and we're going to move our first grid in the British Isles now. All right, so we're going to go into the first British Isle patrol point. Just a quick overview of our loadout again. We've got our trained crew, Kapitan Lieutenant rank. We have 4 steam torpedoes, G7As, loaded in the forward tubes. 1 steam in the aft tube with 1 reload. We've got 1 remaining steam reload and 4 G7E electric torpedoes in the forward for reloads. You know, these are obviously not the best, so we'll do what we can with them. We've got 10 deck gun ammo, and that's about it. So we are ready to roll. Let's see what we encounter in the first space of our British Isles patrol. Okay, British Isles. And we hit a 12. So we've got aircraft. But since this is our first natural 12 encounter, we actually have a random event. Okay, we have the random event chart, so we are going to have to roll 2d6 to determine what happens here. So we roll a 7. Let's see what the 7 is. The event is Hals und Beinbruch, literal meaning neck and leg break. This is slang for good luck. The player may re-roll any single die or dice roll. The good luck can carry forward to future patrols, and more than one may be accumulated throughout the course of your career. Place the Hals und Beinbruch marker on your U-boat display mat. Awesome. So this is actually a good random event, so we've got good luck. I guess a free reroll. So we put this token up here to remind us of our Hals und Beinbruch. If I've probably butchered that, my German's a little rusty, but there it is, so we'll have to keep that in mind. So after receiving our good tidings, we will advance to the next leg of our patrol in the British Isles. Alright, let's see what we encounter now. Another 12. What are the odds of that? Alright, so since a random event can only occur once per patrol assignment, we're going to treat this as an actual event now and have an aircraft event. So we'll have to deal with that now. So we've spotted aircraft. Not good. Okay, so we will resolve our first aircraft encounter. So we go to chart A1. We've got to roll 2d6 to see what happens here. Let's quick look at the modifiers. All crew KRA are hurt. Nope. Green crew, no. Elite crew, no. Diplanes damaged, no. We're in a type 7A, so we're not neither of those. So no modifiers, just a straight up roll. So let's see. We rolled an 11. So a 6 or more is a successful crash dive. No air attack. So we evaded the airplanes and the encounter is over. We get to move on to the next leg of our patrol. So we've been lucky so far with some of these encounters, but we haven't come across any ships yet, so this might end up being an uneventful patrol. Let's see if we get any luck in our last leg. Alright, let's see if I can roll something other than a 12. And we roll a 10. And a 10 is a convoy. Now that's the way to end this patrol, with a convoy. Let's see what we found. Okay, so let's roll time of day. We roll a 5, so we are in night. We need to, which is good, perfect. We need to now determine the ship sizes for each of these ships. Remember, there's 4 ships in a convoy. So we roll a 3, so we've got a small freighter, a large freighter, and a tanker. Small, large tanker. Nice. Alright, let's roll and see what our small is. Small freighter is the 48 is the Cape Rodney at 4,500 tons, but we're going to ignore the small freighter, I think. We're going for the big boys. Alright, so we've got our two large freighters now. The first one is the 22, which is the Cedar Bank at 5,200, not very big. And the 47, which is the Port Hardy at 8,900. That's who we're going after. And lastly, we have our tanker. We roll a 47, which is the AF Corwin, 10,500 tons. I think that's primary target. Okay, so what I've decided to do is fire at medium range. All 4 of my forward torpedoes, right? So I'm going to do a spread here. So we'll go 2 at the Corwin, the tanker. We'll go 3 at the tanker for sure. And we'll do the 4th at the Port Hardy, which is the largest of the freighters, of the large freighters. I could declare a night surface attack here and also shoot my aft torpedo. That's going to make it a lot easier for them to detect me and also affect the damage modifier because it's going to take me longer to get submerged, right? So do I want to risk that or hope that I at least damage the large freighter so I could follow them after this combat and just keep it as is? And I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to declare this and let's take the shots, right? What do you say? We'll go with that. Medium ranged, submerged attack, all forward torpedoes, first 3 going for the tanker, because remember he's over 10,000 tons, so it's going to take 4 damage to sink him. And my last steam going after the Port Hardy, which is the large freighter. Okay, so I think we're going to roll the 3 torpedoes going to the tanker first. Let's see if they make it. So let's look at our modifiers, right? So a night surface torpedo would actually have been I would have got a bonus to hit, you know, because I would have got a -1 there. But I'm not seeing any other modifiers that are going to hurt me here. And we're at medium range, so I need a 7 or less to hit. So I'm going to get 3 rolls here. 2d6, 7 or less to hit. I rolled a 5, that's a hit. I rolled a 6, that's a hit. And I rolled a 5, that's 3 hits. Alright, so let's do our duds. Let's check for duds. So first one, remember, we're in 1940 now. So the G7A steams are a 1 or a 2 is a dud. So I need anything higher than a 1 or a 2. I got a 5, not a dud. I got a 3, not a dud. And I got a 4, not a dud. So all 3 torpedoes hit the tanker and exploded. So now we got to check damage. So we have our damage chart here. So I'm rolling like a maniac on this tanker. So this is great. All right, so here we go. Torpedoes. I roll a 1d6, and we will determine the damage here. So we roll a 2, which is 3 damage. We roll a 2, which is 3 damage. And we roll a 5, which is 1 damage. So that's 7 damage. That tanker is gone. So let's resolve the large freighter now. Right? So remember, we're only getting 1 torpedo here. So we have to roll, same range. We need a 7 or less to hit. And we roll a 9, so we miss. So we got the tanker though, and that was the big boy. Had I known this first salvo was going to be so successful, I probably would have saved some torpedoes for the large freighter, but this tanker is gone. So we just scored 10,500 tons. A little bit of overkill though on that one, unfortunately, but you never know, right? So now we got to roll for our escort quality. So let's get that going and see how we're gonna fare here. All right, so our escort quality, it is 1940. So with the roll of a 5, we've got trained escorts, which means there are no bonuses, so that's good. But we have to see if they are able to detect us, right? So let's look at our modifiers here. Once again, it was die roll modifiers. It's not 1941, so we're not getting any of those. Nobody's injured, nothing's damaged. G7A torpedoes, but it's not during the day. It's a night attack. Not been detected. We were at medium range. It wasn't a night surface attack. So I think we are good. So I could try to exceed test depth. That'll give me a -1 modifier, but I don't think I'm going to need to do that. So we just need to roll an 8 or less to be undetected here. So let's see if we can do this. And I roll a 4. So we are undetected. So now we have to decide what we're going to do. Alright, so since there are no damaged ships, you know, it's only a sunk ship. That's why I was hoping to damage one. I've got to roll to see if we were successful in following. So I need a 1 through 4 to follow successfully. I roll a 6, they get away. So the encounter ends. I don't get a shot at the rest of the convoy, unfortunately. Alright, so we're back into transit. Let's see how our 2 transit rolls are going to go. Alright, so we roll a 5, no contacts for our second transit space. We roll a 4, again, no contact. So we've made it safely back to port with no damage, but we scored 10,500 tonnage with that tanker. So that was, I consider that a successful mission, a successful patrol. Okay, we've made it back to port to do another refit. So since there's no damage to U-27, we only need to spend a month in refit, which is good because that'll get us back out on patrol in April of 1940. So we're not wasting too much time. But for every 3 successful patrols completed, we get to roll for crew advancement. So I get to roll 1d6, and I roll a 1, and a 1 gives me an LI Experte, which means that all repair rolls receive a favorable -1 modifier. And for those of you who didn't know what the LI is, that's my engineer. So now I have an expert engineer. So my engineer got just a little bit better. So he's going to be better at fixing things, which is nice. I'll take it. Well, that was another successful patrol by U-27 and Commandant Stubing, or Kapitan Lieutenant Stubing. So I think we did pretty well. We had a pretty interesting turn of events with some of those, some of the way things turned out. I guess with the lucky broken bone thing, which didn't sound lucky at first, but ended up being lucky. I didn't have to use that reroll. I probably could have, maybe, if I really wanted to follow that convoy, but things are going so well, I just wanted to roll with it. I think it was good. So, I think we've done about 7 months of service, and we've netted ourselves 27,300 total tonnage at this point. I think we need to get a move on if we want to shot at ever getting this Knight's Cross for 100,000 tons. That's a lot. Don't think we'll get it within our first year of service. This U-boat doesn't have a huge loadout, to be honest. So 4 torpedoes, in a volley isn't a ton. So, and I didn't find any ships out in the open to use my deck gun. So I would have liked to do that, but nonetheless, I think we did good. Pretty happy about the way this patrol turned out, and I think I'm looking forward to our next one, our next outing, to see what happens. So we've had a pretty lucky run, I think, so far. Nothing bad has really happened. Knock on wood. So, again, hope you enjoyed the playthrough so far. Please feel free to leave comments, and thanks for watching. And if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe. See you next time.